There was I think after or maybe before Biden had his press briefing about what happened with this terrorist, there was the National Prayer Breakfast this morning. What the fuck what is that? Why is that in existence? The National Prayer Breakfast. Now, anyone who wants to defend it can say, well, Malloy, there are Jews, Christians, and Muslims all involved, and Buddhists, and this and that and the other thing. To which I say, bullshit. I mean, I know that's true, but this religious crap has no place in governance in this country, at least not yet. But at the prayer breakfast this morning, rather than bitch about it, let me tell you what Biden said. Part of what he said, he repeatedly, this according to Associated Press, I think, he repeatedly wondered about something that he says is so important to him that that's what drove him to run for president. And it became a recurring theme, if you remember, of his campaign. And that is this idea that Biden has, and while I may question it, I don't doubt his sincerity. Uniting the country. Uniting the country. I don't know who could unite this country. Like I say, I know Biden's heart's in the right place about this, I'm sure. That's not something you bullshit about, is it? Unless you're Trump. The filthy garbage orange vomit used to use the same words. He didn't mean them any more than he means that he's a believer in Jesus bleeding Christ. Come on. So he said to this crowd of Republicans and Democrats and faith leaders and innocent bystanders, I guess, and this was held at the Capitol Visitor Center in the Capitol building. He said, quote, "As I stand in this citadel of democracy that was attacked 1 year ago, the issue for us is unity. How do we unite us again? Unity is elusive, but it's really actually necessary. Unity doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but unity is where enough of us believe in a core of basic things," end quote. Now, I am not, regardless of how my voice sounded, I definitely am not mocking him. I agree with this, only I would take it one step further. The issue for the human race is unity. I mean, for everybody. I don't care what continent. Asia, Africa, South America, North America, Europe. It doesn't make any difference. If we are not going to unite, if we're not going to be one species, human beings, and address some of the issues that are going to kill us, then what's the point? We might as well just go ahead and blow shit up and kill each other and invade countries and act like assholes, which is what we have done so many times in the past. That's why we are where we are. How do we unite us again? Biden wanted to know. Well, the first thing, as far as uniting the human race, would be to, now I'm just coming up with bullshit here, okay? But the first thing would be to abolish religion. See what I mean? I'm just talking. It's Thursday evening. I'm just talking. Don't take it seriously, even though I do. But abolish religion. Boy, would that, I don't know. And then pay reparations. Yes, there they are again, reparations for all the damage and destruction that Islam and Christianity have perpetrated against the human species. You notice I left out Judaism. So I know, and you know, that'll never happen. Now, this National Prayer Breakfast, Jesus. I remember when Clinton used to go to these, didn't he? Oh, Trump went too. Let me see here. What did Trump say when he went? He's such an asshole. Such an asshole. Where does it? Oh, I'll get to it. Oh, yeah. Trump questioned the faith of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. There is not a more devout Catholic, I can assure you, unless it's Joe Biden. But there's not a more devout Catholic than Nancy Pelosi. I mean, please. But the orange vomit when he was at the prayer breakfast, back when he was the false president, the fake president, yeah, that was the best he could come up with. And he also went after Mitt Romney, who the day before had cited Romney's Mormon faith as one of the reasons he had joined with Democrats to vote to impeach Trump. And at his first prayer breakfast in 2017, the orange bastard had asked the crowd to, quote, pray for Arnold Schwarzenegger to get better ratings on The Apprentice, end quote. This miserable fuck, I mean for real. Anyway, last year's prayer breakfast was held virtually because of the pandemic. And on that one, shortly after the scum, the filth in this country tried to overthrow the government, Biden gave a pre-recorded remarks where he acknowledged what he called the dark, dark time. Yeah, well, I know how to get rid of that dark, dark time. But I have no power. I don't have a squad of special ops people. Mm-hmm. And it was just a few weeks before the last prayer breakfast, of course, when the scum had overrun the Capitol trying to stop the confirmation of Biden's win. Anyway, a close Biden ally, Senator Christopher Coons, Democrat of Delaware, and one of the organizers of the prayer breakfast. And Senator Coons, he just looks like Mr. Peepers. Do you know who that is? Mr. Peepers? You have to be over a certain age to remember that. But he does. Christopher Coons looks like the most gentle, mild-mannered human being ever to walk the halls of the U.S. Capitol. Christopher Coons. And he had promised that this year's event, this prayer breakfast bullshit, would be a, quote, positive reset, end quote. The idea being that with the orange vomit gone, this prayer breakfast event would return to its roots as an event to showcase unity and tradition. Unity? I mean, the Democratic Party isn't even unified. For that matter, there is still the Christian Fascist Party, which is the vampiric group that devoured the Republican Party, although there's a couple of Republicans wandering around the Capitol like lost souls who are in purgatory or someplace, don't know where the fuck they are, trying to act like a Republican, but there's no standard against which they can measure their Republicanism. It's gone. It's gone. Senators Kirsten Gillibrand, Democrat of New York, and Mike Rounds, Republican of South Dakota, who co-chaired this year's event, opened the breakfast, I know you want to hear this, with Senator Rounds joking that you could tell the Senate was in charge because they were already running 20 minutes late. Oh, that's a joke. Oh, that's a real knee slapper. Oh, did you get it? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, we're 20 minutes late. You fuckers are 200 years late. You kidding me? And then Schumer and McConnell stood side by side to give readings from the Old and New Testament. I'd be willing to bet that Schumer read for the Old Testament and the Christian fascist McConnell read from the New. What do you think? Huh? And later, in the prayer breakfast, and this, I don't know, to me, this is almost obscene. This borders on obscenity. But Biden lavished warm praise on McConnell, who McConnell does nothing. He doesn't provide propose legislation. He doesn't lead his caucus except to just be a bull in the china shop. He's a lying fuck, and he has repeatedly attacked Biden's and the Democrats' agenda. But this is what Biden said, quote, "Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, but we really are friends. You've always done exactly what you've said. You're a man of your word and you're a man of honor," end quote. Oh, come on, Joe. God damn, will you get out of the Senate? Biden thinks he's still a senator. And he praises a pig son of a bitch like McConnell, who will do anything and everything and has done anything and everything to stop even the least forward motion in the Biden administration. And Biden praises him. Then Biden quoted the Irish poet Seamus Heaney, and he also quoted his late son, Beau Biden, who on his deathbed, Beau Biden made his dad promise that he would stay engaged in government, you know. And Biden noted near the opening of his remarks that today was Beau's birthday and that his family and faith had always helped him endure difficult times. Okay. Yeah. Life is such a mind fuck to begin with. If people want to have this idea of worshiping invisible or non-existent creatures, okay. You know, I've said it before. It's time for me to say it again. I have no problem. I find no fault with people who want to practice what we would call a religious belief. Do it. Whatever gets you through the night. I mean, Jesus, John Lennon pointed that out. Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right with me. But keep it the fuck out of government. That's all. That's what Ron Reagan Jr. talks about. Just keep it out of government. But you see, Islam and Christianity are not built that way. They're built to insist that if you don't believe in this one or that one, depending on who you are, then you're an infidel, you're apostate, you're going to burn in hell, Jesus hates you, you won't get into paradise, the 70 virgins won't be waiting for you, all this other horse shit. Oh, never mind. Come on, stop. Stop, Mike, stop. Stop. And Biden, in the past, when he was a senator, he did this as much as, well, not as much as, but he's done it just like other senators, but the erosion of civility in the Senate. And once again, this morning, he mentioned that. And it was like he was pining for a time when senators still took their meals together, even when they disagreed on issues like segregation. Yeah, that I can never understand either. But it shows you the lack of moral awareness that Democrats and Republicans have displayed since the very beginning. Oh, let's have lunch together. Okay, but you know, we disagree on segregation. Hey, asshole, it's not segregation. It's denying people their humanity. Oh, but let's go have a tuna fish sandwich anyway, okay? I don't get this. I don't get this. Even though they disagreed on issues like segregation. Jesus, please. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com. And never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.